live.
rolling, baby. Good weekend this past weekend. Let's get back on track.
Yeah, we killed it. We killed it. Killed shit last weekend. We gotta keep it going. We're live now. Pointed out there.
Good weekend, huh, Rome?
Yeah, good weekend, man. Good weekend.
Got sound, man. Never know with you, man.
I love Rome, man. One of the few guys I love, man. Gotta love it, man.
Gotta love Rome. We'll just leave it at that for now. We are live. What's the Line podcast brought to you by anothergreatadventure.com. Yeah, setting up. The boys are back. Running 3-man weave this week. No Papa Keese. Taco Tuesday. Shout out to family time. We all need it. But you know me. I'm on Murderer's Row, baby. There's no breaks for me. But all right. Let's get it started soon, gentlemen. Let me get a tweet ready. Let's post this link as well. Let me send this link to myself. I'll put it in the chat. Let me actually, it's a little easier if I do it like this. Once again, this is What's the Line podcast brought to you by anothergreatadventure.com, premier travel agency. Get it started soon, gentlemen. Let me get a tweet ready. Let's post the link as well. All right.
Get the photos. Okay, all right.
You got this link. Drop it here as well.
4 wins in a row and they don't cover the spread, and you take time off to go put on that hoodie, man. Come on.
I was told to take off my other jacket, and I actually have a
Yes.
reason. I have a reason for this to be on today. I'm actually proud about where they are, man.
Are you?
No, but I'm proud about what I said or where they would be at this point in the season. And we're right there, you know.
Number 7. Let the numbers show.
What's the Line podcast live stream? Appreciate everybody tuning in right now. If you don't know, last week combined 5-2 best bets, 4-0 on teasers. Shout out you, Sound Man. I got back in that W column on those teasers.
About time.
Yeah, I haven't been. I don't know. You've been. I remember one John you started with the Ravens pick 'em on a Thursday night against the Dolphins, and that was it.
Yeah, life.
This guy.
All right, all right. I think I'm here.
You filled out the sheet. I ain't even fill out the sheet.
Me neither. I pulled it up right now, though. I'm about to.
I know Rome ain't fill it out.
No, unfortunately, I didn't.
No, I won't really need it today because it's a 3-man weave. Once again, What's the Line podcast live stream.
You sound like a DJ.
Hey, baby, I'm just getting better every year, Rome. I'm just trying to sharpen up, man. Everything I do, I'm just trying to sharpen up, right?
Hey, I didn't say it was bad. Sounds professional.
What's the Line podcast? All right, y'all, let's get right into it, man. Let's do it. I just tweeted it out. Actually, give me another second. I am gonna post this on IG as well. Nice little new picture, you know what I mean? I know people on their on the gram, right? People don't leave the gram, right, Sound Man?
That's what they say.
All right, that's what they say. Oh, this guy LG just out Puerto Rico posting pictures with no shirt on. All right, this guy LG got to one up him. Sound Man beat him this week, man.
Hopefully, man. Jesus Christ, fantasy football has not treated me well this year.
Yeah, if anybody out there listening, I would like to announce I went 11-3 in fantasy football this year, but
Hey.
Hey, let me talk my shit, Rome.
You tell
People,
us not to brag on ourselves. You want
no,
me to
no.
brag?
Listen.
I can brag on you for if you want.
I'm just saying. So next year, people, I had 10th overall pick. People, you should, get with me. I think I did have some good strategies this year. Also, didn't allow a lot of points. That was just God's plan. So never mind. All right, let's get it posting on Instagram now.
I didn't even put the lines on this.
It's all good, bro. We don't need it. We won't need the sheet today. Just let me know if y'all got a like on
Mm. Strictly notes today. Notes in the eye test.
That never fails, right?
I mean, that's pretty much what I go about. That and throwing motivation as well.
I'm definitely motivation. Eye test. What'd you do last week?
Oh my goodness! Please don't tell me that's how you handicap.
What did you do last week?
We all have our ways, Rome. We all have our ways.
What did you do last week, baby? Pro football, week 15.
Some of us are analytics. Some of us aren't. Just saying.
All right. I'm just posting right now. I'm just going crazy right now. Give me 1 second. If y'all check out Instagram, I'm sure you'll see. Jonah just posted. Double post that for me. Just keep it moving. I'm moving them. Let me copy that. Once again, this is What's the Line podcast, brought to you by anothergreatadventure.com, your premier agency for luxury travel. We're about to start this right now, week 15. I just want to post this one more time on my Twitter. You can find me at _heavy_P. I'm pretty much all football, all sports, really, college basketball as well. Got Rome here, the People's Champ at Romy Rome _. You can find him. Soundman here as well. I won't give out his shit because never know with Soundman. Week 15. Hashtagging What's the Line podcast.
Shout out Steph Curry.
Shout out Steph Curry. Just broke the record. Most 3 points ever. 3-point makes ever.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's keep those points under 108.
Sounds like Rome has a play on the NBA tonight. What a world. All right. Let's get it in, Josh. My guys. I was going to say gentlemen and guys got stuck in between. You know how it is. All right. First game on the board. Oh, yeah, right. Let's get it started. And we're back. Andy Up Consulting presents What's the Line podcast, brought to you by anothergreatadventure.com. I'm your host, the meticulous Mark P. Got my guys with me running the 3-man weave today, week 15, What's the Line podcast. Rome, back again, the People's Champ. How you feeling today, Rome?
Ready to go. Took week 13 off, but prior to that, there were 3 winning weekends, and then this past weekend, obviously, the clean sweep. So week 14 was good to me. The past 10 weeks have been good to me, so looking to keep that rolling week 15. Yeah,
and if you guys don't know, we have a Discord channel. You can get all our plays in there. I try to get Rome to drop all of his plays in the Discord channel. He's been getting in all sports. So
yeah, I'll go on record and say that I'll be better with that going forward. I actually got some plays for the night that'll be in there. If you're listening to the live, if you're catching the live stream, you can check that Discord channel right now, and there'll be some live plays or some games and some action that hasn't started off just yet. So
there it is, right there. Rome's on it. What's the Line podcast live stream NFL week 15. Got my guy with me, Soundman. How you feeling today, buddy? Week 15. We're almost at the finish line.
Week 15, like you said, almost at the finish line. Fun times. NFL is going crazy right now. A lot of divisional games this week, a lot of football this week, period. So, I'm ready to get into it, man.
Ready to get into it. I am as well, baby. I'm locked and loaded this week. Sunday to Sunday, I've not stopped. But I had an interesting weekend in Arizona over the weekend. I could tell you guys about that off the record. But I still kept up with the NFL. This is what we do. No days off. So let's get right into it. Let's get into some reviews. Last week we did our thing. Overall, 5-2 best bets combined, 4-0 on teasers. So shout out to us. Very sharp there. Mike Curry, Keese. So that was on the podcast. Overall, best bets review. We got Mike Curry 20-14 against the spread. Actually had a couple of underdog money lines in there as well. And as we speak about that, let's give out the Soundman special right now. 7-5 on the year. Cooled off a little bit, but we're gonna make sure you're good to go this weekend, Soundman. I got some real insight for you this week. Rome, best bet 17-11 against the spread on this here podcast. What's the Line podcast? Once again, brought to you by anothergreatadventure.com, your premier luxury travel agency. Myself, I am 20-15-1 against the spread best bets. Teasers, I am 9-6. Rome 4-9. Soundman 5-9.
Is that
Mike,
bad?
yeah, that's not very good. I need you guys to sharpen up there. Keese, Papa Keese, 7-3 with his teasers. He's been pretty sharp there. I told him he needs to play all his teasers next year. And Mike Curry, we got Paris 1-0, undefeated with his teasers. But Mike Curry as well, undefeated, 4-0 with his teasers. We're sharpening here. Listen, we're here to make money. We're here to get you guys money in your pocket as well. This is what we do, sharpening up. So let's get right into it, gentlemen. Week 15, Thursday night football, Kansas City Chiefs -4 at the Chargers, total of 51. Rome, if you see any, current lines, I didn't do it right before, but if you see anything changing, let me know on the board. But yeah, Chiefs are -4, total of 51. Give you guys some numbers. Chiefs 26-23 against the spread after a win under the Mahomes. Chargers 6-3 against the spread division games under Herbert, while the Chiefs are 12-9-1 against the spread division games under Mahomes. Rome, talk to me first. What do you think about this game? Chiefs laying 4, Thursday night football in division.
Thursday night football in division. You know what we love to play there? It's either dogs or unders. Let's stay away from the side on this one. Obviously, we know earlier this year, Chargers go into Arrowhead and get the win outright. And then here we are, conversely. Week 15, Chiefs are laying at 4 on the road in LA. And we've seen this Chiefs team come on as of late in the past month, look like the Chiefs of old, specifically on defense, and the offense has cut down the turnovers and mistakes. I look to play the under here. I'm looking at this line right now. Total opened at 49.5. These are two teams that can score, obviously, very electric, both offenses, that being Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes-led offenses. But the opening line was 49.5, and that seemed a little cheap for me for such explosive offenses. The line has obviously moved up to 52 now for the total. 96% of the money is on the over. My play on this one is going to be the under. I don't want any parts of the sides. Under 52 in division, short week, Thursday night football.
All right, that's Rome. That's how he feels. Thursday night football at @RomyRome_. Kept it short and sweet. Look like we can cut that up for a Twitter clip, baby. I'll do that right after this drops. Once again, What's the Line podcast. Salman, how do you feel about this game? Chiefs -4 at the Chargers, Thursday night football.
Rarely this season, rarely last season have I been a fan of the Chiefs and their points, but for this Thursday night, I'm gonna ride with the Chiefs here -4 on the road. Obviously, as Mike Curry likes to point out often, the Chargers have no home crowd. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a ton of Chiefs fans in there. The Kingdom will be in there, so it might be a home game for them. I'm just going to ride with the Chiefs here, -4. Like Rome said, they've kind of been finally becoming the Chiefs team that we believe them to be. And, as we just talked about earlier, motivation here. They already lost to the Chargers I don't think they're going to get swept by them in division. And let's keep rolling after them demolishing the Raiders last week. So let's get back on track. They just played a few days ago. Somehow they're not seeming to be hit with the COVID bug like the rest of the NFL. So I think they should be able to go into LA and get a nice, easy win on the road. So I like the Chiefs -4 here.
All right, for me, quickly, it's a stay away from me. I don't want to touch this game, gentlemen, man. Like you said, Rome, don't want to touch the side. I don't want to. As far as the over under, I mean, the Chargers can be ran on 31st in opponents' rushing yards per game, but are the Chiefs going to run the ball? Chiefs look really good when they play the Raiders, but they don't score that as many points when they play other opponents. So I'm gonna stay away. It's total stay away from me, but did want to get you guys take there. Now let's get into some Saturday football. All right, the Raiders out the Papa Keys are at the Browns. Browns favored by 6 right now. Everybody's dealing with COVID in the NFL, specifically the Browns. Total of 42.5. Browns 9-13-1 against the spread as a home fave under Baker Mayfield. While the Raiders 26-22 against the spread, road dog under Derek Carr. Rome, what do you think about this game?
Yeah, I'm actually going to love the Raiders here. It's going to be a play for me. Played the Chiefs this past weekend, laying the 10 against the Raiders. That covered easily. Obviously, Josh Jacobs fumbling on the first play of the ball game set the tone for that entire game. Raiders end up eventually only scoring 9 points and giving up 45 points on the road. So here, obviously a get-back spot for them, and a Raiders team that's lost 4 or 5 thus far, and a Browns team that just came off one of the biggest divisional wins of the year. So it's a perfect recipe to play the Raiders. Now, if you want to take the approach that Soundman seems to like to take, which is I'm gonna go off what I saw last week. I mean, sure, lay 6 at home with the Browns off the biggest in division win they've had all year, in which Lamar Jackson was injured. So they beat them by 2 at home. You should expect them to do a little bit more, be a little bit more productive in terms of scoring points and keeping the Ravens from scoring points at home without Lamar Jackson. So they sneak out of a home win in division by 2.
Don't cover.
Raiders get embarrassed on the road, and they lose by over 45-9, which you do the math on that. What's that, 34 points? So this is just, it's just a Raiders team that obviously needs a win. It's the personnel hasn't really been the issue. It's really just been, execution in terms of offensively and defensively. I mean, on the back end, Abrams looks like he's lost. He looks like what's our guy name? Swanson. So Abrams looking like Swanson on the back end, and then offensively they're turning the ball over. I mean, we go back to Derek Carr just 2 weeks ago. We can't get caught up in what we just saw last week. Just 2 weeks ago, we watched Derek Carr go into Dallas and play a hell of a ball game. 8-point underdogs, and they won that game outright. So all of a sudden they lose by 34 to one of the better teams in pro football, a team that's probably one of the hottest teams in pro football right now. Doesn't faze me. I like the Raiders catching the 6 on the road here in a game in which they got to bounce back and get that W.
Yeah, I agree with you here, Rome. I like the Raiders at +6 as well. I just can't get with the Browns team right now. It really seem they can't get margin, especially if a team just dares them to throw the ball, which the Ravens did last week. And once again, the Browns did not cover that game. The Ravens did. So I gotta go with the Raiders here. Total motivation spot. I mean, you just got your ass kicked. It was truly embarrassing. Quarterback is, literally you go from playing one of the greater quarterbacks we've ever seen to literally like a mid quarterback at Baker Mayfield at best. So I think
generous. You're being very generous saying a mid.
I am being generous. Maybe he's mid when he's healthy, and then he's not healthy right now. But I'm gonna like the Raiders here plus the 6 points. I think this is probably somehow 3-point game either way for either team. But Soundman, what do you think about this game?
Shout out to Keith. Let's make it 3 for 3 on the Raiders here. No one said the big caveat. There's like 7 people on the offense for the Browns that got COVID today. They're not playing on Saturday. I can't lay 6 with that. They're saying Baker's around these guys as well. Baker might be the next guy. So now what? You know what I'm saying? Kareem Hunt just got hurt as well. I got nothing for the Browns. Laying 6. with all this COVID going on. Give me the Raiders here, +6. I love it on the Raiders.
Let me just give an update here. Obviously, you just mentioned the COVID, which was just announced a couple hours ago. We are recording on Tuesday. Line is now down to 3. Browns are only laying 3 now at home. Still like the Raiders side. I don't think the value's gone there. Like you said, if these guys play or if they don't, I don't think it necessarily matters. It's the spot that matters for me. And this is a Browns team that scored. Sorry, not scored, but their main, thing that they do offensively is running the ball. Last week they had 100 yards rushing. Baker Mayfield had 14 of those yards rushing. So combined running backs, they couldn't get over 100 yards. And now you're expecting them to go out there hobbled and win a game against a team that's hungry. So even at 3, which is the current line now, I could see getting some juice, getting a little bit lower than 3, with the COVID news. So it's still Raiders for me, but I think if the line gets any lower than 3, the value's gone there with the point. So you play the Raiders on the money line.
All right, there it is. And once again, that's Rome at RomyRome _ on Twitter. Let's keep it moving, gentlemen. Next game, Patriots are at the Colts. Colts favored by, let me see the current number. Still 2. Current number is 2. Total of 46 I'm seeing now. Patriots 5-1 against the spread after a bye since 2017. 31-22-1 against the spread after a win during that same span. And also dug up some Bill Belichick stats. So the Patriots after a bye since 2017, holding their opponents to 14.25 points per game. So that's pretty good. Colts 21-17-2 against the spread in non-division games under head coach Frank Wright. 2-0-1 against the spread after a bye. Rome, what do you think about this game? Colts laying 2 against the Pats off a bye.
Love this game. Love this game. I mean, if you want to play eye test and you say who's looking most impressive in the past month, I mean, maybe even the past 6 weeks, the Patriots have been the most impressive team in pro football. However, they're only catching 2 points here on the road. So you would say that this line is about even with the Colts because the Colts are getting 2 for home field. And so this is the Patriots team that's been the hottest team in pro football in the past 6 weeks. However, they're only just even on the line against the Colts on a neutral. So look ahead in this game was at Pick'em, which is interesting. And now it's up to 2 Colts. 60% of the money right now is on the Patriots, and that's believable because they are the hotter team. But, I mean, last week we saw what they had to do to get the win. They had to go back to Naval Academy football, which is understandable, the elements and all that. But, I mean.
I loved it.
It was good to watch. I mean, specifically with pro football. But, I mean, there was also a Bills team that made lots of bonehead mistakes, and that's kind of what the Patriots do. They make you make mistakes instead of necessarily forcing mistakes. I think the Patriots' way has been this year limiting turnovers. Last year, the reason why they weren't successful was because they had Cameron Newton turn the ball over and obviously, not being able to get stops defensively. This year, they're able to get those defensive stops, but they're still not as explosive as they need to be on offense to win ball games, especially against teams that can do both, which is running past, that being the Colts. Jonathan Taylor is probably the most important football player in any team right now in pro football. So, I mean, Carson Wentz hasn't looked terrible. How about this? Carson Wentz isn't playing bad when you're not hearing about
him. Fair enough, yeah.
So they're fine. I mean, I think they know who they are. I think they know who they want to be going forward. And I think Mac Jones obviously is still a rookie. And I think as ironic as this may sound, I think the Patriots are just the sexy team here. As boring as they are, but they're the sexy play here, catching 2 points on the road. I think this is Colts or nothing for me, especially with 60% of the money already on the Patriots. I could love to get some value with this. And I'm not one of those big guys on closing line values, but I could see more of this line closing around 1.5 Patriots, 1.5 Colts, and that's when I'm going to pull the trigger on the Colts.
Yeah, I was gonna say I ain't one of those guys that do like the little line value at the end. Yeah. Quickly with me, I lean with the Colts. I hate to go against Bill Belichick. And I hate to back Carson Wentz, but like you said, the hottest team in the league is the Patriots. So it's a true 2 to me. If I had to lean one way, it would be with the Colts. I'm not gonna bet it. I don't really like to either bet against Belichick or bet with Carson Wentz. So like I said, just a lean with the Colts minus the 2 points.
Why did this line go from Pick'em to Colts -2? Patriots were impressed. I mean, they were as impressive as they could be against a Bills team this past week. And then the Colts, I mean, 2 weeks ago, they lost to the Bucs at home, right?
Right.
So how did the Colts
You
get
know
some?
what? Now that you say that, it's not.
That's sharp
Is it a
money.
true two? Right? Is it a? I mean, I don't know. Is it a true two? I mean, one of the things that kind of worries me, and this was a great example, is the Washington Tampa Bay game. I'm glad I kept my soliloquy quick on this game, but no. So the Washington Tampa Bay game, Tampa Bay went up in the spread. I don't know if you remember, guys. I think over the 8 went up to like 10.5.
Yep.
Both teams are coming off a bye week, all healthy. Nothing changed. Nothing happened. The spread just went up. But like what that in itself doesn't
That's
make
sharp
sense
money.
when
That's sharp
things.
money. That's what that is. How is 60%
But
of the
but
cash on the
on the
Patriots?
Colts,
No, yes, it's sharp money on the Colts. It's sharp
right?
money. Basically saying if the line was pick 'em, right? And now it's 2. That means people, once this line dropped, people ran to bet. The sharps ran to bet the Colts.
Right. So what about in the
Cat,
Washington Tampa Bay example?
I think that's a different example because one, that line was obviously a much larger line. And I think the reason I think that line was just like following money late in the week. I mean, if you want it, how about this? The people who it didn't really matter what number you caught the Bucks at in that game, obviously, because they lost outright. So you were on the wrong side from jump. So they were a popular team. The Redskins were trending down at that point. That was the
Washington
turn.
football team.
Sorry, Washington football team was trending down at that point, and then ever since they've been trending up. So it was just a follower's mentality in terms of following that line, and that's what got that line so expensive. This is a different.
All right, I give you that wrong. I'm gonna got it because I mean,
the Colts are
fair
favored
enough.
here,
Yeah.
but the Patriots got the more money. That doesn't make sense.
And the Bucks are a public team, so I'll give you that in that Washington football team example. Well, Sound Man, what do you think about this game? Colts favored by 2 at home against the Pats.
I like the Colts here. I like the Colts here for a couple of reasons. To a point, we said the Patriots are a very hot team. I think we talked about the Colts as well, playing good football for a very long time. I always say, dating back to the L they took against the Ravens. I think ever since then they've been playing either good ball. They're either winning a game or they're just barely losing. I think they're still on track to be a good team to get to where they want to go. I've been watching
Number one in the
Knocks.
AFC. They're number one in the AFC East.
No,
2 games ahead of the Bills, who they just beat. So I think they're more than on track. I think they're overachieving at this point.
Been loving the Hard Knocks as well. Fan perspective here, man. This guy Frank Rice been looking good on there. These guys on Hard Knocks. They say, "Yo, let's go in this game. Let's shout out the Texans." They shout out the Texans. Do that. You go into a bye week. You come out. You got the Patriots coming to Indianapolis. This is a vintage game. Colts Patriots here. I think they're going to be juiced up for this, and I think this is a statement game. They've been losing these close games to these contenders out here. I think they need this game more than Patriots. Patriots on a 7-game win streak. You can't keep winning. You could, but you can't. I'm going to back the Colts here as well. Just 2 points at the crib off the bye. Let's see what Frank Wright can do, man. And Jonathan Taylor's a great guy. You guys need to watch Hard Knocks. This guy Jonathan Taylor's a fucking character. He doesn't have any emotion at all. Any emotion.
He's a professional football player, and that's what we like to back.
Slicing him up, and he's just like, okay.
He's our guy. Shout out to Paris. They say some ties there, but I'll keep it at that. All right, so let's move on, gentlemen. I thought I was pretty sharp of you, though, Sound Man. Sharpening up. We're going to finish the year strong. Next game, Panthers are at the Bills. Bills favored by 11, total of 43.5. Let's give some stats. Bills 14-10-2 against the spread as a home fave under head coach Sean McDermott. 12-6-1 against the spread under that same span versus the NFC. Panthers under Matt Rule 8-2 against the spread as a road dog. Cam Newton just 3-9 against the spread on the road since 2018. I will start with me.
Don't do it.
I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna take the Panthers team total under. This is probably going to be at about 16.5. I'm going to take it under that. I like it up to 15.5 under. I just think this Panthers team, well, I know we struggle. We're not good. Like I see it week to week. It was a pretty easy way to get out of it last week, right? I had the team total under 23. One of my best bets last week, 2-0 last week on the best bets. But
shout out to you on that play, because why? Books don't give hooks for free. That being, if you see a hook on it, it's probably not going under. You played a nice flat number at 23. It went under. Books don't give hooks for free. That was a good play there.
Yep, and I mean that Panthers team scored early, but I mean they had 14 basically the entire game. get a long run through for Chuba Hubbard. But I mean, I really had no sweat on the team total under 23. This Panthers team just really continues to struggle to throw the ball. How about this for Cam Newton, right? 2018, his OC was Norv Turner. 2019, he only played like 2 games, 1.5. And then he goes to the Patriots. You got Josh McDaniels getting involved in that system. Comes back with the Patriots. Josh McDaniels system gets released. Joe Brady trying to, get involved in that system. Joe Brady gets fired. It's too much. It's too much to go through. Team total, Panthers team total under 15 is probably, 15 to 16. I like it at that number. 14 I wouldn't touch, but 15 under I like. With this Bills defense is going to be hungry. Soundman, what do you think about this game?
I mean, you just probably convinced me. I'm sick of the Bills personally. They just keep letting me down.
Yeah,
This
the
11.
Bills is a little sick too, though, right? I mean, Josh,
Yeah.
the quarterback is dealing with a foot injury, walking boot.
He's in a boot. You know what I'm saying? These guys have been laying numbers, predominantly double-digit numbers all season. I don't know off the top of my head. I feel like they covered a few, not all of them. And here they are again with 11. Granted, the Panthers stink. Have no idea what the weather's going to be like up there. I think that would be important as well. I was going to lean – I'm just going to lean Bills here. I got nothing for it. I'm leaning Bills here. That's all.
All right, Rome, what do you think about this game? Bills laying 11 at home against the Panthers, total 43.5.
You're on mute, bro.
Next game, not touching us.
All right, next game, we got the Jets, Jets, Jets at the Dolphins. Dolphins favored by 8.5 last time I looked. Yes, 8.5 still. Total of 42. Dolphins under head coach Brian Flores, 2-0 against the spread after a bye, 15-8 against the spread as a home team, 13-6 against the spread after a win, 10-5-1 against the spread division games. So he's been money in all those categories. Jets just 9-22-1 against the spread, road dog since 2017. Rome, start off with you. What do you think about this game?
You guys know I love making money on bad teams. So let's just start there. This is a Dolphins team that's getting a little bit too expensive. All right, look ahead on this line with 7.5. We've seen the Dolphins get off with, is it 6 in a row or 5? It says it's definitely 5. Is it 6 in a row now they've won?
5 in a row.
5 in a row.
Ridiculous.
Hottest teams in the AFC, right? And go down the list of the teams they beat. Houston Texans, New York Giants, New York Jets, Carolina Panthers, Baltimore Ravens on a short week after the Ravens played an overtime game. They're getting too expensive. The Jets, on the other hand, are terrible. So we know what we're getting there. We're getting 8 points, though. And this is also a Jets team that I like to back, and I feel like I have a good pulse on when to back them. So we go back to November 21st, less than a month ago. This same team, Jets versus Miami. Jets lose by 7, and nothing was really too impressive. It was really just an old school AFC East game. So here, I'm catching more than 7. And I'm catching more than 7 because of the expensiveness of what the Dolphins have been able to do over the past 5 weeks. And just to give you context on what that line was less than a month ago when these two teams played, 3.5. So in the past 4 weeks, we've seen the Dolphins be basically, beat bad teams, and we've seen the Jets continue their pace of the Jets. So now we ask ourselves, in the past month, have the Dolphins become 5.5 points better than the Jets? Answer is no. So this is a perfect place where, a perfect spot here where a team is just too expensive and the results are skewed, and the Jets are the Jets. So you know what you're getting. So I have no problem betting on bad teams. I win money on bad teams all the time. So give me the Jets here, 8.5. I don't think it'll close at 8.5. I think I'll be catching like 9.5 when Sunday comes around. So Jets here, that's a side.
All right. I thought that was a very sharp play, Rome. I'm gonna back you on that as well. They have not gotten that many points better since the last time these two teams played. Jets are still who they are. So yeah, I agree with you there. Salman, what do you think?
I really don't have too much more. Rome just convinced me and made me a believer that 8.5 just seems too much. That jumped out to me initially, just seeing Dolphins Jets and they getting 8.5, especially on a 5-game win streak, granted off a bye or not. I just don't think they should be getting 8.5 points. So I'll probably go Jets here too. So I'm gonna go ahead and lean Jets here.
And then
Yeah,
it's also easy to argue that the Jets are probably, in terms of all the bad teams that been Lions, Texans, Jets, Jags, we would argue that the Jets are probably still the hungriest to win. We've heard Robert Saleh come out, in public stating, we have to do better. We want to do better. So I don't think this is a team that's tanking. Obviously, we know what's going on in Jacksonville. We know what's going on in Houston. And the Lions finally got their first dub. So in terms of the bad teams left, this team would have the most motivation of all the bad teams. Shake your head all you want.
Lions won it every time, man. Dan Campbell wants it every time, man.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, for me, like I said, though, I lean with the Jets, though, but I like the under 42. I think the Dolphins, they cannot run the ball, but they, kind of pretend they're throwing the ball. And I like the under here because Zach Wilson can't do shit throwing the ball either. All right, next game, Washington football team at the Eagles. Eagles favored by 4.5, total of 42. I'll start with me. I'm going to lean with the Washington football team here. Ron Rivera, you guys know all the stats. I give it out every week. 22-20-1 against the spread in the month of December. But in the months of November and December, he's played about 41 games, won about 20 of those outright. And he's just a money in November, December. I'm not going to budge now because of one performance. If Kyle Allen has to step in there, I think they'll do all right jobs, preventing this Eagles team running the ball. And if they have to throw the ball to come back, that's going to be pretty tough for them to do. So I'm going to back the Washington football team here, plus the 4.5, lean in division. Rome, what do you think?
Yeah, prior to the bye that Philly's coming off of, they did beat the Jets. Wasn't too impressive in that win. I kind of want to go back to 3 weeks ago, November 28th, where they're laying 3.5 against the Giants. I love that number on the road because it never covers and they lose outright. So I was expecting that. They play the Jets the week after. I was expecting that. It's the Jets, right? Then they get the bye. And now here they are in division, laying 4.5 on a line that had a look ahead of 3. And so if a team did not play this past weekend, one of the teams, that being the Eagles, off the bye, and then you have the Washington football team, who looked less than impressive in division after winning 4 games in a row, and that score obviously was deceiving with the late pick 6. So you could argue that they could have lost by 14 points at home in division. And so now they're going on the road and they're catching 4.5. Like I said, look ahead was at 3, line up to 4.5. One of the teams didn't even play last week. So it basically speaks to the sharp bettor saying that the Washington football team was that bad that even though the Eagles didn't play, they're still going to get more points on the line. Prior to that Giants game, the Eagles had the best offensive efficiency in pro football. They were the hottest offense in pro football. I'm not going to take too much from a game in which they beat the Jets. It's the Jets, okay? But this is an offense that's been underrated, and this is a team that I think is flying low under the radar. They're right in the thick of things. They have the same record. So if you have 2 teams with the same record and there's a team laying it, I'm taking the team that's laying it every single time because they're laying it for a reason. I'm not taking – the books don't give you points for free. They don't. And the Eagles, this line doesn't say these 2 teams are even. Their records do. This line says at 4.5 right now. Lincoln at this time of the year, it's worth a true 2.5, 3, right? So at 4.5, this is still saying the Eagles are clearly 2 points better than a Washington football team that got 4 in a row prior to this past weekend against Dallas. So I'll take the team who's won 3 of their last 5 as opposed to the team that's won 4 of their last 5 because of this line. It's all in the line. Teams have the same record. One team's laying it. I'm taking the team that's laying it. Books aren't giving you free points.
All right, Salman, what do you think? The fan, Washington football team catching 4.5 at Philly, total of 42.
I'm just going to lean Washington football team here. Preface my statement. I do not have the same bravado that I have last week for my team. Let's start by saying, Washington football team swept these guys last year. Last time these teams played, this guy, Jalen Hurts, was pulled allegedly when they still had a chance to win the game. Washington football team looked terrible last week. We're injured every single week. COVID bug is running through Virginia right now as well. We're decimated in every sense of the way. That being said, 4.5. I think Ron covers, but I do think we lose. Eagles off a bye. We're seeing a different Jalen Hurts than we saw last year. The thing that I think will benefit the Washington football team in this game, though, is the fact that I think Jalen is not, or at least his receiving core isn't that up to par. And I think our defense, can probably stop them. If you run the ball on us, you'll probably get there. I think Dallas kind of exposed us. You know what I'm saying? We like to hold the ball, do the long drives and all that, keep the ball away from the offense. I don't think that's going to happen again. I think, these teams in the NFC East are on a revenge tour from getting swept last year. We swept the Eagles and Dallas last year. Here we go back to back. I think the Eagles are going to win, but I do think there's going to be a close, contested NFC East ugly game. And Washington football team covers here, but, Eagles will win this game.
Yeah,
4.5.
line up to 5 now. Also, lines up to 5, and we have over 71% of the money on the Eagles as of Tuesday. So the sharps are betting Tuesday. I'm probably going to have to bet now because this is the best number I think I'm going to get on this game. Also, this game has some of the largest amount of money of any game thus far this week. There's already $25,000 in action on this game, and it's Tuesday night, and it's up to 5. So,
all right, there is some big money coming in on the Eagles. All right, this is the 2 game, gentlemen.
Hey, and
yep.
remember, the Eagles and the Saints have those syndicates that seem to know something about those 2 teams. Remember that?
Yeah, fair enough, but I mean, they don't always be right on those Eagles because I was with them a couple of times and I was like, huh. But all right. So which team would you rather lay the double digits with? Cardinals are laying 14 at the Detroit Lions. Cowboys are laying 10.5 at the New York Giants. Always start with me here. I'll lay the 14 with the Cardinals. Lions are so bad. What's even worse are their contracts. I meant to send that to y'all in chat this week. But Jared Goff is making stupid bread. But they cannot pass the ball. What they could do before was run the ball with DeAndre Swift and Jamal Williams. Now those 2 guys are out. The running backs they have now, a little fumbleitis. That team's really bad. The Cardinals, one thing I really do like about them pretty much is their defense, especially their pass defense. Team is going to have to pass the ball. The Lions are when they get down. Cardinals are going to be able to play not in conditions. This is going to be in a dome. So I'll take the Cardinals minus 14 rather than the Cowboys laying 10.5 in division. Dak Prescott did not look good to me last week. And this Cowboys offense has struggled from week to week. And they're not that consistent to me.
I was about to say
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They're not consistent to me. So I would rather lay the 14 with the Cardinals than the 10.5 with the Cowboys. Soundman, what do you think?
God damn it. I'm gonna lay it with the boys here. And I'm solely doing that because I think these Cardinals are about to be the next team to have a COVID outbreak. Rams' whole facility is shut down. Rams got COVID, obviously played the Cardinals last night. So I'm not wishing COVID on anybody, but they just played a team and this whole other team is just shut down. So for that, I'm going to assume some people are going to be out. Hopkins obviously hurt his knee. MRI is coming, but, I wouldn't play him this Sunday. You're playing the Lions. Why even play him? Let's see who might have some COVID on some Cardinals. And, the Lions do suck, but it's just like Cardinals are kind of, they're not the Cardinals of, the beginning of the season. Obviously, they do play better on the road, which is super weird. They're not winning at home, but they are on road here. So, but for the COVID factor, I'm just going to lay it with the Cowboys. Another divisional game. To P's point, this guy Dak has been looking weird for a couple of weeks. It's that calf. But here I go again, just riding with Dan Campbell. So landing with the line.
You don't sound confident at all.
I'm here for the COVID, sadly.
All right, Rome. Who would you lay it with, or how do you want to present it in these two games?
Neither. I don't want anything to do with this. I'm not laying 14 on the road, and I'm not laying 10.5 on the road in division. One last nugget for this game. Cardinals COVID, Lions bad offense. I'll give me the under at 47.5. I do see it 90% of the money is already on the under on Tuesday. So expect that line to come down just a little bit further, but get it now while you can. Cardinals, Lions under 47.5.
All right, let me give some stats. Cardinals 17 and 11 against the spread, non-division games under head coach King Cliffsbury. Cliff Kingsbury. I always get that mixed around. Lions, just 13 and 15 against the spread as a home dog since 2017. Cowboys 30-22-1 against the spread after a win under Dak Prescott. And the Giants are 16-13 against the spread after a loss under Daniel Jones, who I think will be back this week. All right. Next game on the board. Titans favored by 2 at the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Doesn't this line stink?
Total of 41.5. I'm going to like the Titans here minus the 2 points. One of the things that I talked about on the Monday morning version of What's the Line podcast is I've been impressed by Mike Vrabel and the Titans this year in totality. We know Derrick Henry has been gone for a while now, but this team continues to play well. They continue to, beat up on bad teams and prevail against the good teams as well. Find out game plans. They beat the Rams. The Rams looked pretty sweet last night.
They were catching 7. Come on now.
They won the game outright. What are you talking about? They beat all those playoff teams in a row.
They were catching 7 without the best player.
They beat all those. Go down that schedule. You've been going down schedules.
We saw that coming a mile away.
Go down that schedule.
Last week they beat the Jags 20-0.
Yeah.
Are we impressed by that?
Nope.
No. But they covered. So they covered.
Yeah, they covered. Go ahead.
Week prior, they lose by 23 to
Patriots. Yep. The greatest coach of all time.
Gotcha. How about this? What do you think about Culley down there in Houston? Because the week prior to that, they lost 22-13 to the Houston Texans.
Right. Gotcha. Bad loss. One
bad
loss.
Bad loss. And then the week prior, they went at home by 2 against the Saints. No cover in that game.
All right. No cover. Beat the Saints.
Here we go. 9-4 on the road against a 6-6 team in Pittsburgh that has looked poor, as we all agree.
Yep.
And they're only laying 2.
Yep. Go down that schedule. No, finish the schedule. One bad loss.
That was the last 5. You want me to go back to August when they got whooped by the Cardinals?
I'm just saying you didn't name the rest of the game. I'm just saying they beat playoff teams from last season, and they have one bad loss that you named. So that's all I'm saying. I've been impressed by Mike Vrabel and this Titans, specifically on defense. Tannehill is no buzzkill. I mean, he's no great, Dan Marino out there. But I like this Titans team, and I'm gonna back them here minus the 2 against this Pittsburgh team. Who I'm just, even with 10 days rest, cool, Big Ben. Like, do it again. Throw for the 300 or whatever you did. I just don't see it. Like, they're a bad team who can't run the ball. They're pass happy, and this Titans team has been able to get to the quarterback. So show me, Big Ben. Been great as a road dog under Tomlin. I don't think that's the case here. And it also goes to we think they're not going to be 500 this season. So I'm going to back the Titans here minus the 2. But Rome, talk to me. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, this would just be Steelers or nothing for me here. Line stinks. I just want to see what happens with it. But it's Steelers or nothing for me here. Steelers beat this team last year. And it's really because, the Steelers were hot and they had that pass game going. But this is now a team in the Titans that doesn't have Derrick Henry. I don't want to get on my high horse about how bad and how much I hate this Titans offense.
I was going to say, Jim, my guy Jimmy the Greek's in the comment. Jimmy said, Rome, Titans bias. There it is. I'm just saying.
I'm not even going to do that. I'm not even going to do it. But what I will say is it's a 9-4 team at a 6-6 team laying 2 points. You figure it out.
Yep.
That's where I'm at with it.
Oh, yeah, I would throw some explanation into that. I mean, the Steelers team just put up a lot of points against the Vikings. 10 days rest. They're catching points at home. Never been a good recipe. They're Mike Tomlin, 14-3-2 against the spread as a home dog as the head coach.
Is
You know
that
how
good?
successful they've been. Yeah, that's very good. Very great.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. And I'm going against it. Soundman, what do you think?
14-3-2 as a home dog is kind of wild. I'm sorry, that is kind of wild. That's kind of wild. That kind of makes me hesitant. I don't even like it that good. Dang.
I'll be riding with the Titans. I'm gonna ride with the Titans here again. I'm just not happy or impressed or anything of what I've seen from the Steelers all year. I was on the opposite side of you, Rome, thinking that they would get 500 and above this season. But I think this game would be a game that you would want them to lose, so you can be correct with that. I think this is
The tie already got me there. They'll win 7, and then they'll tie, and they won't have more than the 8.5 wins, so it won't matter.
So this is their 7 this Sunday, is what you're saying.
Oh, I'm not saying it is, but I'm saying it doesn't have to be. I'm catching 2.
I like the Titans here, man. To Peace Point, man. You know, Vrabel, the guy's been doing something. Also, to Peace Point, Titans beat the Colts twice, beat the Bills and the Chiefs. Those are playoff teams that he wanted you to mention, but you didn't, Rome. This guy's been beating these teams, granted, Henry or not, but I mean, Henry's been gone since week 8. It's week 15. These guys are still there in contention. I'm just going to ride with the Titans here to go into Pittsburgh. As you said, Rome, the Steelers beat them last year. Here's motivation. Let's go to these guys' house. Let's beat them in Pittsburgh. Good little AFC battle right here. I got to take Titans -2 on the road.
Mine opened at 2.5, now down to 1.5. 65% of money on the Steelers right now.
All right, let's get it cheap. Let's wait it out. All right, next game on the board: Texans at the Jaguars. Jaguars favored by 3, total of 41.
I like
Texans 16, 26-1 against the spread after a loss since 2017. That's not good. Jaguars 20-28-2 against the spread after a loss. I'm looking. If you see me right now live, I'm just putting my fingers over my nose. This stinks. Also since 2017 for the Jaguars. I'll start with me. I'm gonna lean with the Texans here, plus the 3.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I it's possibly a like. I think that I know that I am 2-0 right now on the Texans this season. I played them plus 10.5 against those Titans that we just spoke about, right? I played them there. And then I also played them week 1 against this very same Jaguars team. However, morale was so much more higher for this Jaguars team in week 1. I mean, when you talk about leaps and bounds, how about this, Rome? When we talk about maybe a team moving up or down 3.5 points like we were with the Dolphins, let's talk about the Jaguars from week 1 coming in with the optimism to now with the fighting, the Marvin Jones, the calling the coaches, schmucks or whatever.
And what am I going to say to this? All of this, and what am I going to say to this?
I don't know. I can't.
They're still laying 3 points.
Exactly. Right. I get you. So yeah, I'm just leaning with the Texans here, plus the 3 points. I've been pretty good with them, but I'm gonna lean here plus the 3 points. Davis Mills been throwing the ball a little bit, like 300 yards last week. All right, Ron, what do you think?
I love the Jaguars here. I mean, it goes back to the point. Something about betting bad teams is always been pretty good for me. How about this? We talk about the infighting. We talk about the owner almost ready to fire Urban or doesn't know when or how he's going to fire him, right? All this going on, all this infighting going on. There's a team, the Jags, that lost to this Texans team already this year. In what way have the Jags gotten better this year? They took James Robinson out, wouldn't hand him the ball. Now Urban Meyer's talking about he's a big part of our offense. He's the one who benched him. Blah, 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 blah. All that's going on. And they're laying 3 points.
Right.
I love the Jags right here. Give me the rookie quarterback that's going to struggle on the road. Obviously, Tyrod gets benched, but is Davis Mills an upgrade from Tyrod Taylor?
No, he's not.
So now we're asking the rookie to go on the road.
When I backed him in week 1, it was with Tyrod. That's why it's just a lean this week.
Right. And I mean, that line was kind of funky to begin with because that line was 3.5, and then they won outright. The Jags were laying 3.5 in that game. They won outright. And these two teams have looked – they played right up to the par of what everyone has expected of them thus far. They're both on track to go under their season win totals. So nothing's changed by these two teams. And somehow the Jags are still laying points. And who has the better wins? The Texans. The Texans have better wins than the Jags. This line doesn't make any sense. There's no way I bet the Texans right here. No way. I love the Jags here. And I think this will get a little bit more expensive.
And Rome does not like loves fading, lines that just don't make sense, right?
I love it. I mean, I got 2 rookie quarterbacks. Which one do you want? The one that went first overall in the draft, or this David Mills guy out of West Virginia? It's that simple.
Fair enough. Salman, what do you think about this game? Jags laying 3 in division against the Texans.
This season, I'm personally taking Davis Mills over Mr. Sunshine, Mr. 4 picks a game. I don't know, man. I'm going to lean the Texans here as well. And it's literally because I can't like the Jags. Too much turmoil is going on over there. It's just like, bro, like what are we really doing here? And I like the fact the Texans definitely just lost 3 in a row, but they lost all 3 at the crib. Now they're about to go on the road. Maybe just need to get out of Houston for a minute. Go on the road, and, maybe win outright against the Jags. Jags stink. Urban Meyer stink. Shad Khan is done with them. I'm probably gonna keep him around. People calling people losers. I can't back that this week. I can't. There's too much turmoil, and it's just like this turmoil has been festering since the off season, like since before the season even started. I can't back that here. Texans go on the road. I got nothing for it. Texans also got some COVID outbreak too, but get out of Houston and go to Jacksonville and get you a W, man.
How about this? Jags have scored 21 points in 3 weeks. In their favor.
Yep.
In their favor. Love them. If we talk about defensive numbers, Houston gives up about 400 yards per on defense, 147 on the ground. Jacksonville much better on the ground, only giving up a little bit above 115 on the ground. And in the air, they're about similar, both giving up 250 in the air. We talk about offensive efficiency and offensive numbers. Jaguars, they average over 100 yards rushing per game. Houston Texans, meager 75 yards rushing per game.
That sound, man?
Jaguars give up 26 points per. Texans give up 27 points per. Both teams average 13 points per.
Gotcha. No,
I'm favored by 3. Love them.
All right. Yeah. We're definitely going to move on from that game. Rome likes the Jaguars minus the 3. Just leans with me and Soundman. But Soundman, I'm just saying, got to win your fantasy football matchup this week. Carlos Hyde is on the waiver wire. I'm just saying, hey, throw him in the flex. Throw him in the flex. You can run all over this team. Look what Rashad Penny did last week. He looked like fucking Gale Sayers out there. Next game, Bengals at the Broncos. Broncos favored by 1.5, total of 43.5. Best bet for me right here live Tuesday, December 14th. Bengals plus the 1.5, total of 43.5. Like I said, but I'm going to back the Bengals plus the 1.5. What this Broncos team does well is run the ball, specifically on bad teams, and they don't have, they play a complimentary.
They chew clock.
They chew clock, and they play complimentary throwing the ball with Teddy Bridgewater. This Bengals team does not allow teams to run the ball. They play some of the big dogs like the Ravens and the
49ers.
49ers, they literally just played them. But only allowing 93.1 yards per game on the ground are the Bengals are. It's tough to run on them, even with the Javonte Williams and the Melvin Gordons of the world. I think this is going to be a tough matchup. Bengals team, I think this team still can win the AFC North. For those who still like long shots as far as division, I like this Bengals team as far as the AFC North right now. I think you come in here, you get adjusted to that altitude while you're stopping that run, come out that second half, and you come out and you beat this Broncos team who's limited throwing the ball. I mean, it just is what it is with Teddy Bridgewater. They play a complementary style. I like the Bengals plus the 1.5. They're 10-7 against the spread as a road dog under head coach Zach Taylor. And Zach Taylor showed me a lot last week, staying poised, did not get too aggressive. Some may have said he was being a little conservative, considering that he punted the ball a couple of times, but he wanted to keep his team in it. He knew he wasn't going to give up any big runs. They got the game to overtime, took the lead in overtime, but gave up a touchdown late. So Zach Taylor showed me a little bit last week. I like the Bengals. Best bet for me right here live Tuesday, plus 1.5. Rome, what do you think?
Yep, love the Bengals here too. And this goes back to the point of me saying, remember, we were talking about the Washington football team and the Eagles game. 2 teams with the same record, right? 6-7 those teams were. And the Eagles were laying a true hefty number, right? Here we are. Broncos laying 1.5, you're an element. I mean, you're an elevation. You get at least 2 points just for playing for a mile higher than any other team in pro football, and teams having to travel and adjust to that. So if you say, okay, you get 2 points for just having to play in Denver, Denver's laying 1.5, Bengals are still a better team on a neutral. I like the Bengals here. They lost 2 in a row, but I mean, they've been way more impressive in terms of what they've been able to do offensively than the Broncos this year. And that goes back to Joe Mixon. That goes back to what T. Higgins and Jamar Chase have been able to do on the outside. I don't think what they've done thus far I don't think they've come thus far, in terms of what we've seen, their offensive efficiency, to turn around and just drop off here towards the tail end of the season. I don't think that's them. I don't think that's going to happen. I think if anybody it'll happen to, it'll be Denver, a team this is a team that's really just been getting by, if you ask me. I mean, they're winning the division games against the Chargers. Okay, cool. The Chargers love dropping the ball after big weeks. They lose at home to Philly. They beat Dallas in that weird blowout game. Dallas was laying 10. I would have never laid 10. So, just like spots like that have kept the Broncos alive in many people's books. But, I mean, if you want to look at the eye test, I'm taking the Bengals every single time. I mean, they can run the ball when they want to. They can throw the ball when they need to. And their offense is much more wide open than the Broncos. Like I said, it goes back to the line. Line is too cheap. Look ahead was 1.5, hasn't moved since. I like the Bengals here after losing 2 in a row, and a Broncos team that's won 3 out of their last 5, and they're only laying 1.5 at home. Bengals.
All right, Soundman, what do you think about this game? Broncos laying 1.5 at home versus the Bengals.
So when I looked at this week's slate, this was probably one of the few potential Soundman specials that stood out to me. I too like the Bengals here. That's 3 for 3 here. We all, say we have a couple teams that we kind of just know their spots. For me, I feel like I've been fading the Bengals at the right time, and I've been on their side at the right time. What notably sticks out to me last week when we recorded the pod, they were, I believe, favorites to the Niners. I was like, nah, Niners about to get this game.
2.5-point favorites for the Niners. The Niners were 2.5-point favorites. The Niners won by 3.
But it opened, and the Bengals, I believe, were favorites. I was like, no, the Niners about to get this game. This is not the Bengals' time. I think this is going to be a great game. This is not their time to win this game, though. I've been fading them against, the whole division they've been playing. Yep. But to the point of, they lost 2 in a row. The division's wide open. Lamar, ankle here. Browns, like I said earlier, COVID. You're 7-6. You're a game behind first place. This is a game you need to win. The Broncos, to Rome's point, they're just getting by to me. Like, it's just weird. Like, they got 4 wins in the last 7, but it's just like, how are you getting these wins? It's just weird. I think the Bengals need this game more than the Broncos do. I think they know that, knowing that they lost 2 straight and that the division is right there. A hell of a game last week, too. They just, like Pete said, definitely learned a lot about Zach Taylor. I know last season or maybe the year before, a lot of disrespect was talked on this podcast by a man I'm looking across from Rome about Zach Taylor. We did not like
to get off the toilet season for him, and he's definitely proven to be more confident. Going back to Pete's point just this past week, even in a loss, that would have been a 10-point loss last year.
Mm-hmm.
So that coaching staff has really stepped it up.
Yeah, so I think they know in the back of their mind they were 5-2. You're now 7-6. So it's like we need this game. I love the Bengals here on the road. Potential Soundman special. I feel very strongly about this. So
let me also note, just add on to that Soundman special. The Broncos, every time that they've lost this year, they have not covered. And so that obviously means, even if you were a dog, if you weren't favored, obviously you didn't cover because you lost. Right. But situations in which they were dogs, they have not covered. So they when they lose, they're not covering.
Yep.
And that means when they're catching points, they're not covering. I can see this line getting flipped later on in the week. So I can see this Bengals 1.5.
All right. Like I said, we all like the Bengals right now, plus the points. I did want to note AFC North, all teams in the AFC North under the current regime are, plus money against the spread as a road dog. Same thing for the NFC West. All teams under the current regime plus money against the spread as road dogs. So did want to point that out. And once again, this is What's the Line podcast, week 15, brought to you by anothergreatadventure.com. your premier luxury travel agency. All right, next game on the board. Falcons. I've had a good streak with the Falcons this year, gentlemen. Total of 46 are at the 49ers. 49ers are favored by 8.5 last time I looked. Let me see if it's updated. Don't think so. All right, so yeah, 49ers favored by 9 now, I'm seeing.
Can I pose a question here? Can I
Sure
be a
thing.
little creative here with this?
Sure thing.
Because
As
8.5
creative
is
as you want, because it's a stay away from me.
Okay, same here. Because that's where this question is going. I don't want 8.5. I don't want to lay it with the 49ers, and I don't want to catch it with the Falcons. I'm sick of watching the Falcons every week go out there and underperform and hand the ball off to Cordell Patterson and make him seem like he's somebody. Okay, Matt Ryan can't move in the pocket. We got it. 8.5. Wouldn't be surprised if the 49ers win 44-10. Wouldn't be surprised if the Falcons win late. Remember this game 2 years ago, I want to say, Julio, goal line pass, real short, 1 yard short, something like that. Falcons lose out there in Santa Clara. I don't want any part of this game. So the question I will ask you, if you had to tease, you teasing down or you teasing up?
I'm teasing down.
I'm teasing down.
Teasing down because Falcons under Matt Ryan, 55-62-2 against the spread after a win. So, you know, I like to bet with them after a loss. They're pretty money there, but not after a win. Yeah, Salman, what do you think? 2 stayaways from us. You can answer that question as well. What team would you rather tease?
I would tease down too, but I'm also I'm gonna stay. I haven't used a stay away. I think this is a perfect time to use it. It's just a weird game, man. I don't want to be a prisoner of the 49ers moment. We know I love the NFC West. Hell of a game last week, but the 8.5 is too steep. And the Falcons to me are another weird team. To Rome's point, like the 49ers could win 44-10, or literally the Falcons could win. I have no idea how this could go. It's just so weird. So I'm gonna stay away as well.
If you want to be sharp, here, go back to the line, go back to the record. Team has one more win, 49ers do. One more win than the Falcons, and they're laying 8.5 more points.
Right.
So that's all you should really know on that. Falcons are beating the Jets, the Giants, the Dolphins before they got good, the Taysom Hill Saints, and the Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Carolina Panthers again. So have your luck at that game.
And we're going to move on from this game. I will say, though, if I am teasing that – actually, let me give out a stat. I thought Samuel was going to give it out, but 49ers, 6-15-1 against the spreads and home fave under head coach Kyle Shanahan. And like I said, if I would tease this game down, it'll be 7 points with the 49ers. I don't like field goal kickers. All right, next game on the board. We got 3 left, gentlemen. Oh, we got 2 left. I'm sorry. Monday night, you already know how that goes. Packers are laying. It looks like this number has changed a lot, actually. So let me get the current number. The Packers.
How good would this game would have been prior to COVID and prior to Lamar Jackson not being injured, right?
I don't know. I mean, hypotheticals, whatever. But the Packers are laying 5 at the Ravens. Total of 43.5. Rome, I'll start with you. What do you think about this game?
Packers are 10-3 against the spread this year.
Yep.
They're laying 5. We don't know if Lamar is playing, right?
Right.
Love the Ravens. Love them. Physicality has been my issue with the Packers. I think they've been pretty finesse. I think they're the best finesse team in pro football. I think the Bucs are the best overall team in pro football in terms of physicality and finesse. But this is going to be one of those games where I think the Ravens are actually going to show up and be a little bit more physical than the Packers. We understand Marlon Humphrey's out. We understand all these things, Devontae Adams, how great he's been, and it's only 5 points. So I'm kind of just thrown off by this with a quarterback in Lamar Jackson who's questionable at this point. I mean, what's the update on him? As of right now, he's questionable.
He's questionable. I don't believe he's going to play from what I'm hearing, good sources or whatever. So the people that I listen to, I don't think he's going to play.
Yeah, so it should also be noted, toes at 43.5. This would be I'm probably not going to touch this game, to be honest, but this would be a Ravens or nothing game. I'm not laying 5 with a team in Green Bay.
Yeah,
they've scored 70. They scored 81 points in the past 2 weeks, and the total is 43.5.
Right. Yeah, with me, I'm gonna just lean Ravens. It would have been a stay away from me, but same reasons Rome talked about. Line just a little too low, especially with the Lamar news. Like, what's going on? I did want to mention, though, I mean, Packers 85-62-3 against the spread after a win. I wanted to talk about that specifically because they're coming off a big win against the Bears Sunday Night Football. I don't know if you can pick yourself up, back again against a Ravens team who probably won't have their starting quarterback, so could have to get out of there late. And the kicking team isn't very good, so did want to point all that out. But Sound Man, what do you think?
I'm gonna lay the 5 on my guy, man. I'm gonna lay the 5 on my guy, Aaron Rodgers. Discount double check. Great stat about that. Last 4 times an opposing player did the double check on this guy. He's won every single time. So don't if you're a Raven, if Calais Campbell,
give me the cover stats though. Did he cover?
Campbell. I don't care about that.
Well, just send me the game so I can look them up. Send me the game so I can look them up.
I'll send you the tweet that my guy put on the show today. Nonetheless, my guy is in great spirits. The toe feels great. Is Lamar playing? If he does, cool. If he doesn't, cool. I just feel like Packers go here, interconference battle. I got Charles. I got Talib will be there. Win the game for them at this point. 5 points. Who cares, man? Like I think
who needs this game more? That's an obvious question.
Obviously, the Ravens. Obviously, the Ravens need it more.
Packers have scored 45, 36, and 31 points in their last 3 games. The total is 43 points. This is going to be a Ravens game.
I think Aaron Rodgers might have heard Marcus Pringle say, "Throw it, Averett." Marlon's gone. You know what I mean? Throw it, Averett, man. D. Adams, bro. 2 tugs. Like, what? You know what I mean? Who's checking him? You know what
I forgot to mention that every week. How do you beat the Ravens? You point out Averett.
Corner now. He's number 1 now. Like it's done.
Hey, he did just get a pick last week or something like that, didn't he?
Oh, every even trash cans get steaks, buddy.
I love the Packers here. Plain and simple. I love my guy's bravado on Aaron Rodgers Tuesday today. He's in great spirits. So I like the Packers.
Did want to mention I put the Ravens stats under John Harbaugh instead of under Lamar Jackson this week because I don't think it'll be Lamar playing. Ravens under John Harbaugh 37-39-3 against the spread after a loss. So did want to point that out.
I'd love to see what their numbers are under Harbaugh catching points at home. Home dog 7 and 8 ATS, but that's Lamar, isn't it?
Yeah, that's under. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's 7-8 against the spread as a home dog. That's all
Lamar
under.
Or that's Harbaugh?
That's Harbaugh. I mean, Lamar's not getting home dog. You think he's been a home dog 15 times? Just started in 2019. Right? All right, next game, NFC West. Seahawks at the Rams. Rams favored by 7, total of 47. Seahawks 13-8-1 against the spread as a road dog since 2017. I mentioned that NFC West road dogs. Seahawks also 20-27 against the spread after win since 2017. Rams 17-11-1 against the spread division games under head coach Sean McVay. Starting with you, Sal, man. NFC West guy, talk to me. What do you think about this game?
Got nothing for this game. I'm staying away. I got nothing for that.
Stay away for Sal, man. Ron, what do you think?
Well,
that's where you kept your stay away, huh?
I'm looking to play the under on this game. Total open at 47, down to 45.5 now. These two teams always play close games, close, tight games, and the Rams always seem to play letdown games after playing well, specifically in division on the road on a short week. So I'm looking to play this under. Like I said, it's at 45.5 now, open at 47, already down 2 points within the past 2 days.
Yeah, with me, I'm gonna just lean with the Seahawks plus the 7 because I talk about their road dogs is NFC West and the fact the Rams are dealing with so much COVID. I don't want to bet on the Seahawks. It's literally just a lean. I'm not betting this game.
Hold up. Let me just check something because you said the Rams are dealing with a lot of COVID.
Right.
Let me make sure that line is that line.
Let's make sure that line is that line. I told you I forgot to update today on the initially when I write these notes.
There's no way that line's still 7.
I see 6s. I see 5s.
6.5.
5, 6. I see some 5s. I see some 6s. So
yep.
I mean, it is what it is, though. Stay away, but you still like the under. Stay away from Sound, man. Me, I just lean with the Seahawks. Plus
you know what I don't like?
What's that?
84% of money on the Seahawks already. I mean, that COVID is just. I mean, that's what they're betting on. They're betting on the COVID because you're not betting on the Seahawks.
Right.
On the Rams against COVID. So we'll see.
All right. Last game on the board. Looks like this is Sunday Night Football. Saints are at the Bucks. Bucks favored by 11. total of 47. Bucks 8-4 against the spread is a home fave since Brady's gotten there. Saints, oh my gosh. I tried to look up the Saints as a double-digit underdog. Under the head coach there now, Sean, what's his name? I'm sorry.
Peyton.
Sean Payton. And I'm thinking when he first got in the league, 06, maybe I can catch him slipping. No, one game, 0-1 against the spread as a double-digit dog. It was against Carolina. Mark Brunell played. So, it's really nothing to back that. But Saints are 36, 25, and 2 against the spread as a road dog under head coach Sean Payton. And that includes that 06 season where he came out the league striking. I was looking up on that year like, God damn, they was coming out killing. But, Bucks favored by 11, total 47. Rome, what do you think?
Bucks have won 4 in a row, but we don't care about winning. We care about covering here. And we go back to week 8, Bucks at Saints. Line was 4. Saints went outright. So obviously that was Jameis. I really just can't gauge what this line means now, but what I can gauge is the total. So the total in that game with the Saints laying 4, with Tampa laying 4, was 48.5. Final score, 36-27. The total this week, Taysom Hill, Bucks laying 11, right. 47. So this is an underplay for me.
All right, I think that's extremely sharp, Rome. All right. Salman, what do you think about this game? Bucks laying 11 at home.
My God, Thomas Brady, 1-3 against the spread. You guys love when I do it against the spread. 1-3 against the spread as a Buck against these Saints. I'm gonna keep
that's including the playoffs. That's including the playoffs.
Yeah, including the playoffs. Yeah, 1-3 against the spread as a Buck against these Saints. Sean Payton and these Saints, as I said, every time got something against this guy Brady. I hate it for my guy Brady, but it just is what it is. This is 11 points, as Rome said. These Bucks won 4 in a row. Also, we do remember that Tom Brady with these Bucks in a primetime game didn't cover as well, or he lost. So
I think they look much better as of late in these games.
As of late, yeah, but something about these Saints, man. Granted, they're coming to Tampa. But I like the Saints here to cover this 11-point spread just off of that alone. Like,
what's as of late? 4 games?
Primetime games?
Oh, you're talking about in primetime? Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, to be honest, you could argue that this past weekend was a primetime game. It was America's game was Nance and Romo 4 p.m. That was a big game against. Right. So I think the only angle here to play is the under. Like I said, these two teams played earlier this year. Bucks were laying 4. Total was 48.5. This week, Bucks are laying 11. Total is 47. Under. How you got the same total with a 7-point differential on the spread?
Yep. Yeah, for me, I just lean with the Saints. I all fucking day I try to look up Sean Payton's stats as a double-digit dog. It ain't there because he don't get double digits. He doesn't catch double digits. So you're telling me now this Bucks team who just showed at least a blueprint, at least our team could possibly pass the ball on them. I know Taysom Hill ain't, finna do that, but and the Saints team, Mike Evans toss him out. So you got no AB, you got no Mike Evans. You out there, whatever it is, what it is.
What do you mean Mike Evans tossed out?
I mean the Lattimore matchup, like he does nothing.
Okay, it doesn't matter. And Lattimore does get in his
he straps shit up. So and no AB. So I'm gonna lean with the Saints plus 11 in prime time. And all right, gentlemen, you know what time it is. Tease me picks. Let's get out of here. Anybody want to start?
Yeah, I'll tease the Bengals up before that line gets across 0 from 1.5 up to 7.5. Yep. And then I'll also let me go ahead and oh damn, that's a 0 line. Yeah, and then let me also keep it light here with the Saturday games. I'm also going to tease the Raiders up. I understand I've kind of lost some value from 6 down to 3. So let me get it back up to about 8.5 and do that on Saturday. I'm halfway home with a teaser before Sunday kicks off. So I like my odds there. So I go Saturday 4:30 to Sunday 4:30, teasing two AFC West matchup type of games up. So Raiders up to whatever that line closes at because of COVID, who knows where it's at. Give me 6 on the Raiders. Give me 6 on the Bengals. I like both
All
those
right.
teams to win outright as well. So sprinkle some on the money line as well.
All right, Nomadic, you ready or what?
Yeah. So I'm just gonna rely on the Panthers stinking. I'm gonna tease the Bills down to -5, and I'm going to believe in the former team that's on my chest, and I will tease them to +10.5. Hope for the best.
If they were going to cover, they're going to cover. 4.5 is just one of those numbers.
Hope for the best, right? All right, I'm gonna stick with you, Ron, with the Bengals. I'll take that while I can, get it at +7.5. And I'm gonna go a little different with you, Sound Man. I'm gonna tease the Panthers Bills under 49.5.
I would actually also tease the Panthers up. I mean, the line is at 10.5 right now. You know, that's one of those key numbers for me. We always talk about in basketball. That's a football number. 10.5 just doesn't seem to cover. 13.5 doesn't seem to cover, and 14.5 sometimes finds its way home. But 10.5 of all those numbers struggles to get home. So,
all right, and he's throwing it out there. But that's not your official teaser player, Ron.
No. But it might be on the card. Panthers up to
Gotcha. But
17.
yeah, I will tease that under 49.5. I'll get it at. All right. And looks like we're out of here, gentlemen. Week 15 in the books. We're almost at the finish line. And let's get out of here. Best bets presented by Bluehost.